Hi, Kim here at Wild Hearts and Wildflowers, and the sunshine is out today. Beautiful, bright, I'm loving it. But I have to tell you, I really enjoyed the rain we got yesterday and earlier this week. It's the first rain we've had since spring, and it's a sign that fall is coming to an end and winter is about to start. Am I rushing it? Yes. Yes, definitely, probably by 2 months. But I am already focused on, well, the holiday season. And as the years have gone by, I have let myself enjoy the holiday season more and more. I mean, when I had young kids, of course I enjoyed that so much, all that goes along with that. But now I'm not quite as busy, and I can just enjoy the vibe of late fall and winter and the holidays. I had fun reading by the fire, the first one of the season, the other day. And yes, now I am focused on what am I going to read in December to go along with the season. In November, I've been reading a lot of nonfiction for Nonfiction November, which you will know if you've seen any of my other videos this month. But I've also been reading some fiction. I've been reading some post-apocalyptic, some cozy mysteries, and a few others, and I will talk about them in another video. But I was already starting to think last week when I was at the library, what can I pick up now that I can enjoy come December to put me more in the Christmas mood and to just enjoy Christmas? And guess what was there on the front display shelf already? Sarah Morgan's brand new 2024 book, The Holiday Cottage. Now, I've never read Sarah Morgan before, but I have heard of her on a few channels, so I know she is enjoyed. I know she is good at what she does, and every year she puts out a Christmas novel. Now, I will admit, I don't read romance much at all. I've had my times in the past, back, I think, a phase in my 20s and a phase in my 30s, maybe even a phase in my early 40s. But since then, I haven't really read romance. Still, when Christmas rolls around, to me, that just seems like the perfect time to snuggle up and read a nice romance. So I'm going to be giving Sarah Morgan's Holiday Cottage a try. And just when I decided that, what pops up in my feed but 2 videos, one from Sarah at the Bookish Knitter and one from Fiona at Reads and Eats, and they're co-hosting a Sarah Morgan Holiday Readathon for the month of December. So this works perfectly with what I was already deciding, because I actually picked up a few other Sarah Morgan novels that day at the library, and I have an ebook that I got off of Libby. Now, this readathon only has 2 requirements. So if you want to participate, here's what you do. You read just one Sarah Morgan Christmas novel, and there are a ton of them. I went online just to see, and oh, so many. And Sarah on the Bookish Knitter in her announcement video said, if you like your romance novels with a bit of spice, then you want to read one of Sarah Morgan's earlier books before 2018. She said the book that came out in 2018, The Christmas Sisters, that is the first one where Sarah Morgan kind of veered away from the more typical, spicier romantic fiction to women's lit or women's fiction with little to no spice. And well, that leaves us with lots of choice, and we can decide whatever we prefer, or maybe a mix of both. But yes, just reading one Sarah Morgan Christmas novel, you've completed half of the requirements for the readathon. The other requirement is to do some type of holiday craft. And both Fiona and Sarah made it clear that this doesn't have to be, you know, a typical craft. If you don't knit like Sarah or crochet like Fiona, there's lots of other things that you can do and that I can do. I happen to crochet. Last year I crocheted some tree ornaments, Christmas tree ornaments, as in they were Christmas trees that hung on the Christmas tree. But I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I might do some more crochet, but they suggested things like baking, decorating around the house, maybe something like painting or making candles. Really, there's no limit. Anything that's creative could qualify as a holiday craft, as long as it's got some sort of, you know, relevance to the holidays. I know last year I made some holiday scent mixtures, which I put in mason jars, and they incorporated a lot of the spices I grow and some evergreen leaves, or needles rather, and several other things, citrus peel, and all of that together. You know, they're supposed to put in with some water and simmer it, and it gives off the aroma, the fragrance of a lovely Christmas holiday. And I gave those to several of my kids, and I got some really good responses. They texted and called me several weeks throughout the weeks after Christmas, telling me how much they were enjoying those throughout January. So I might do those again, or I might just come up with something entirely different. I don't know yet. So in addition to The Holiday Cottage, I also checked out 2 other books there that day, as I said. One is A Wedding in December. Now, this one was published in 2019, and it's about a family getting together for the wedding of their youngest daughter. But what the family doesn't know is that the parents are on the brink of divorce. And the older daughter doesn't think that the younger daughter's making a good choice. The younger daughter is second questioning things. And I think there's a lot more drama going on too. So that should be some fun. And then published in 2021, we have The Christmas Escape. Now, this one is about a couple who is married and has a young daughter, and I guess they're having some marriage issues. And the wife was supposed to go on vacation to Lapland with her best friend. And at the last minute, she decides maybe she should stay home and try to work on her marriage issues. So she sends her young daughter with her best friend to take the vacation. And apparently, both of these friends in separate places end up having quite a bit of romance around the holidays. Now, the ebook I have by Sarah Morgan is called Snowed In at Christmas, or Snowed In December. Not sure which one, but I'll put a picture of that book up here. And that one, the synopsis sounded really good. I've always thought being snowed in would be sort of fun, probably because I've never really had to deal with that. We've had snow here once that I can recall. I did live in Rochester, New York for a couple of years and saw plenty of snow there. Lots of ice storms, all kinds of things. Learned how to drive in the snow there back in my 20s, but never got snowed in. Have any of you ever been snowed in? I would bet it's not quite as fun as it sounds. But fortunately, when we're reading it in a book, it can be fun. So I'm hoping to get to that one too. Now, Sarah mentioned that some of the older Sarah Morgan books, in addition to having a little bit of spice, also are more likely to be in series. And there was one she mentioned, I think she called it Sleepless in Seattle, which, you know, of course, makes me think of the movie, which I love so much, with Meg Ryan. And there's several titles in that series. They're not available on Libby, and currently they're not available at my library. I might have to cave in and buy one. We'll see how my reading goes in December. Now, 2 more things about the Sarah Morgan Holiday Readathon. One is that about the beginning of December, Sarah from the Bookish Knitter is going to open up a thread in her Discord so we can share what we're reading, talk about the crafts we're making, and just have some Christmas fun together that way. Now, I have tried Discord before for a few other channels, and let me tell you, I got lost. I couldn't seem to follow who was saying what to whom, but you know what? I'm willing to try again. I am. For this, I think I can handle it. So we will see about that. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is that the day after Christmas, December 26th, which in Canada and in the UK is Boxing Day, here it's just clean up after Christmas Day and relax and enjoy all the leftovers day. But on that day, they are going to be doing a live, and we can all get together and again, but this time visually, share what we read and the crafts we made and just have a nice wind down after Christmas. So I want to give a big thank you to Sarah and Fiona. I love both their channels, and I'm really excited about this readathon. And I'm wondering, are any of you going to be reading a Sarah Morgan holiday novel and joining in the readathon? And are any of you going to be making Christmas crafts? What are you going to be doing? And finally, are any of you going to be making a video about it? Because I would love to follow along. Make sure if you do make a video about this, that you give it the hashtag Sarah Morgan Holiday Readathon. So there's still 2 weeks to go until December 1st. I'm going to try to hold off and not get started on any of these novels yet. We'll see if I can manage that. All right, everyone, until next time, happy reading.